Hey guys, the Gemmy Fan here on Gemmy Master Animatronics, and today I'll be doing another restoration video, yet another restoration video on one of Jordan's childhood items here. This is the Cactus that he gave me that sings Tequila. This is one of the ones with the stripped gears, and believe it or not, he's actually still in the call with me, so he'll be witnessing a lot of it. So yeah, this is the first part. I got some batteries in them. And he has maybe one or two stripped gears. He doesn't do anything except, like, he just makes the ticking sound obnoxiously. So let's see what we can do about that. So here we go. Yeah, you pretty much get the point of what this thing does. So let's see what we can do about that. And I think he is missing one of his peppers or whatever was on his feet and his hands. He's missing one of those, but it's no big deal. A little bit of back history on this guy. He was sold at KB Toys in the year 2000. I personally don't remember these because I was probably way too young back then to even realize that these things existed. So yeah. I guess we'll see how this turns out. I believe I have a few spare gears and other parts to fix this guy up, so let's get started. Hey guys, it's the Gemmy Fan here on Gemmy Master Animatronics, and what we have here today to show you is the Gemmy animated Desert Dancers animated Cactus. Now this Cactus, I technically already did a review on it earlier before this thing was actually fixed up, and surprisingly enough, I don't even know how. All I had to do was take the gearbox apart, readjust a couple things, clean it out, and reassemble it, and it doesn't even strip out anymore. Now the thing is wrong with it, but of course you have to be careful, you know, not to just grab it or something while it's in activation because it's going to strip again. These were made in the year 2000, I'd say around May or June of 2000, possibly earlier. So right around the time I came around is when these things were produced and sold or distributed in KB Toys in particular. Jordan had 10 of these total. He ended up with 7 because one of them, I think one of them just broke and ended up getting thrown away. I don't remember. And he gave 2 to Kevin and 2 to me, but the other one is still in the storage unit. He can't find it. But this one he gave to me as well, to fix up in particular, and luckily enough, somehow or another, I ended up fixing it. It has all the original gears, the original motor, original everything. It just needed some adjusting when I got in there. Now the only thing that really is wrong with him cosmetically is that he's missing one little pepper or whatever that's up there on his hands. But yeah, that's really it. There's nothing else that was wrong with him. But the sway mechanism, this is one thing you got. This one is the pivoting mechanism. I call it the pivoting mechanism because it just goes side to side and up and down. Well, they did a little change. They did an immediate change to that. I can see why. They converted it from gear to belt. It's kind of like the snowflake spinners, for instance. And these are actually pretty uncommon to find nowadays. You don't see these every day either. It plays an instrumental version of Tequila. It's really cool. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite little small tabletop Gemmy items from the year 2000. I have a couple of them. I have a couple more just like this, similar to it. I have a Scooby-Doo, I have a Max that sways side to side, and I have a reindeer that also moves side to side and plays Deck the Halls. Same year, same everything. But since these are earlier models, it had an earlier design mechanism. It's all gear, and it has a 12 tooth instead of a 10 tooth. So if you're looking to repair one of these, if you ever get one of the gears split, best of luck to you trying to find one on eBay. Because I'm sure I think they do sell 12 tooths, but just keep in mind of how many teeth that this thing has. But anyways, yeah, I could see why they replaced or they converted into a different mechanism, or because of how much these things probably stripped out back in the day. Because all you got to do is hold it, and then it just starts stripping out immediately. You know, there's no other way around it. You know, and these are also another thing about these older ones is that they're sound activated. They're not motion, just sound. So for the amount of times, I'm sure a lot of you know, pretty much a lot of little kids came into stores and took them out of their boxes and cut them on, and, you know, clap their hands so all of them would go off. And then, you know, the ones on display, or if they have ones on display, they just all go off constantly, up and down, side to side, until they just eventually stripped out, and the rest is history. But yeah, thankfully I salvaged this one and made it work just like I used to back in the day. And for being 17 years old, I'm impressed to see how good this thing still works. Especially after being in George's possession. Just kidding. Anyways, yeah, I'm very happy to have one, but thank you, Jordan, for parting out one of yours to put in my collection. So here we go. Yeah, as you can see, it works flawlessly. There's really nothing wrong with it, but I guarantee if you grab hold of it, at least just all it takes is once to grab hold of it while it's in activation, done. You're gonna have to go in there and fix it again or do whatever. And yeah, if you saw before this actual review, I also included a couple clips of what the gearbox actually looks like, if any of you were slightly curious. But anyways, we'll play it 2 more times for you. And I think the only other collector that has one of these is a guy named by Mr. John. I forgot the numbers, if there is any numbers at the end of his username, but yeah, he has one that he got off eBay for like $5. And I think the only reason that these are somewhat uncommon is because of the, you know, the desire. And if you guys want to know what the 2 little straps are across his chest, those are basically bullet holsters. Yeah, basically. So, you know, if you guys want to know what that is, those are bullet holsters. The hat is obviously a purple sombrero, and I heard that they sold in other different color sombreros as well. And the original zip tie that was popped out from under it, I ended up salvaging. It works great. I just popped it back on the little base, and it works flawlessly. So we'll play it one more time. Yeah, so there you have it. And to come to think of it, I think another reason that these are somewhat uncommon is because how many probably got thrown away without even leaving the dang store. Just because of how fragile they are and how many kids probably tamper with them in their boxes. You get the story. So if you see one on eBay, make sure to pick it up. Definitely, they're really cool, unique little items, especially. You know. But yeah, that pretty much concludes this review of the Gemmy animated 2000 Desert Dancers animated Cactus. Thanks for watching.